Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are reacting to a tragic video down there in Atlanta. Another black man killed for nothing, unfortunately killed by another black man. Before we continue, please remember to like the video and subscribe. So I'm just going to kind of play the video and then I'll react.
Lenox Square is now solved. Today, a judge sentenced the man responsible to life without parole. It's more time than the prosecution requested. The murder happened in 2020, and it was all over a parking spot. New at 6, Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live inside the Fulton County Courthouse. And Mark, the judge called this an execution.
Yeah, a prosecutor here at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office says he used a big diagram of the Lenox Square parking lot along with mall surveillance video and much more to explain to the jury what happened. He says the incident ended in the parking lot with a murder, but it started there too with what should have been a minor dispute over a parking spot.
On the count of murder, I'm going to sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. This case is particularly disturbing. It was described by witnesses to the murder as an execution. It was pure evil, with a gun pointed to the back of that victim's head.
I agree. And it is especially frustrating when I don't see these cases get any attention. The way how black people die at the hands of other black people, it's pure evil, and this needs more attention. These crimes need to be punished. Alright guys, before we continue with the video, you'll see the Uber icon on my screen. I am here chilling in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and waiting for an Uber trip in the meantime. So I'm just out here reacting to this video while I see if I can make some money as well.
When you pulled the trigger and killed a man, leaving his family and his child with no father.
The law, a Lenox Square parking lot, and a life lost.
On March 8, 2020, defendant Ricky Lafarge shot and killed Twan Wynn in the back of the head in the parking lot of Lenox Mall, all over a dispute over a parking spot.
Chief Senior Assistant Fulton County DA John Whitenauer says he recommended life, but because of his age at the time of the murder, 19, and his lack of an adult criminal record, with the possibility of parole, plus 5 years for Ricky Lafarge. But Judge Alice Benton exceeded that, ordering life without parole, plus 5.
Someone lost their life over a parking space.
Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis.
Your reaction to the sentence?
I'm pleased with it. I understand why the judge gave the sentence she gave.
We're told Danielle Russell tried the case.
The judge did the right thing in this case.
You saw there, Uber wanted to give me an order for driving 9 kilometers for $3. Yeah, not gonna happen today. Yeah, but that black lady prosecutor, Fonnie, I don't remember her last name. I really like her, man. I like how uncompromising she is as a black woman, understanding that black people need protection from these criminals. Some liberal arguments, some of these DAs in many of these cities love to, I don't know why they take up the job of DA if they're not going to prosecute criminals. Somebody gets charged for robbing a store, prosecutor drops it. Somebody gets locked up for shoplifting, prosecutor drops the charges. I like the way this lady prosecutes criminals. If you want to save black lives, you need to lock up black criminals. So just did a few orders, so continuing. Yeah, so this is the lady on the screen is Fannie Willis. She's the DA, Fulton County. And yeah, I really like the fact that she does her job. And it's amazing you're having to congratulate a prosecutor just for doing her job. But that's the world we live in. And this story is obviously very tragic, and I feel for the family of the victim. I like the result of the case, though. I mean, again, if you care about black lives, your biggest job... Okay, I'm getting another order here. Alright, continuing. So the orders are coming in, guys. But, yeah, continuing. Yeah, I mean, you have to lock up black criminals. They take black lives. Black criminals mostly impact black people. They stifle economic activity within the black communities. They cause all kinds of hurt to regular black people. So if you as a black man see that there is a lot of black people in prison, if you're a regular black person, a law-abiding black person, a person who wants to get ahead, you should not feel bad about that. You should feel as if something is being done to protect you, because if those criminals are on the street, they're not going to impact the white man. They're going to impact you, your life, your family's life. Some try to make excuses about poverty. Alright, $3 for 4 kilometers. Yep, $3 for 4 kilometers. Nah, not doing that one. Sorry, guys. This is my regular life. I'm not trying to make this pretty. Yeah, but moving on to my argument here. So some try to make excuses about poverty. This man was executed for over a parking spot by these criminals. What does that have to do with poverty? I'm going to continue to repeat this on every video. It's not about poverty, it's about culture. That the culture says we resolve our issues with other people with violence. So all this man is doing is following what the culture says. So we need to fix the culture. The first way to fix the culture, remove the most toxic members of the community who are pushing this particular idea about resolving issues with violence. Remove the ones who are actually committing the violence. That's how you get them to not influence the young black man or the young black child. And I know you're not supposed to say this as a black person, but I'm all for massive incarceration. I'm all for a punitive justice system, overly punitive. And you'll find a lot of conservatives are going to agree with me on that. But one thing they're not going to agree with me with is when I say I'm going to advocate for punitive punishment and mass incarceration when it comes to white collar crime as well. People who set up quote unquote businesses and use it to rob people. I'm not only talking about violent criminals. I'm talking about anybody where your business destroys people's lives, takes away their life savings. People like that should be punished in the worst way. Going back to my main argument about this particular situation, I know liberals as well want to point out that crime has been going down, especially in the US after it spiked in 2020, 2021 in the wake of George Floyd. It has started to go back down, and they're citing this as progress. But no, this is not real progress for me, because all that is happening is going back to normal, and normal is not good enough. Normal, if you go back before COVID, before George Floyd, over half of the murders in the US are black people. They're the victims of these crimes. While black people in the US is only 13% of the population. That cannot be acceptable. There has to be radical change. So, yeah, people who are obsessed about crime want change. These are the people, myself, other people, black people who are starting to wake up. We are the ones who actually care about black lives, because the black lives that you're talking about when you're talking about Black Lives Matter is less than 50 people per year who are killed by the police, and we should continue to condemn police officers killing unarmed black people. That should not happen. We should have protests about it, but we should be just as passionate about the over 10,000 that happens every year. 10,000 seems like a bigger number than 50 to me. And both of those can be resolved through us asking for change. One is committed by the government, yes, and that one is egregious. But that does not mean that the other 10,000 that is committed by black people should be ignored. We have to advocate to resolve that even more strenuously. We need to get that down. And I'm not even living in the US. I'm here in Canada. I'm from Jamaica, but the same problems that are facing black people in the US are the same people who are things that are being faced by black people in Jamaica, where I am from. And if we can resolve the issue in America, maybe that can have some impact in Jamaica. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about this video. Lock up criminals for a long time. Remove them from the street so they cannot corrupt the young. That's what I say. And this one is an extreme case, but that's what I'm going to continue to advocate for in this channel. So if you want to hear more about me reacting to things and giving my opinion, please subscribe.